What to do, everybody? It's a Q-Man Teddy B coming back at you with a new review from Champion Q's. And today we're talking about the Green Spider Series set. And by set, I mean it comes with two shafts, a 13 millimeter and a 12 millimeter, and a 2x2 case, which is a great deal for the money. And speaking of money, we will talk about the price at the end of this review. And so let's get into today's review. And remember, if you enjoy what I do, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and let's get into a few specs real quick, and let's do this. Real quick, before we hit the pool table, some specs and information, and important information when it comes to this particular pool cue right here. Today, we're talking about the Gator Series Spider Series pool cue. This is going to be the green, and oh my, that green does look stunning. It says Gator right here, ET Spider Lights, got the spider overlay right there. Not a big fan of spiders, but I do have to say that does look kind of cool. And it has this stunning extended leather wrap. They call it like a snake skin, because it definitely does feel like snake scale leather. It is genuine leather, like cowhide leather, and it is coming at 19 ounces. It is not extension ready, but we will talk about that in just a few minutes. That is going to be a big part of this review, the extension portion. And we have two shafts right here. Why do we have two shafts? So you get two shafts, two low deflection shafts at that. They are very great shafts if you are not into carbon fiber and wood is your way to go. They come standard with a Tiger Evers tip on both tips, on both shafts, as you can see. And what's the difference is that you get a 12 millimeter shaft and a 13 millimeter shaft. So 13 millimeters is going to be your standard everyday shaft, and then 12 millimeters is going to give you a lot more accuracy, pinpoint, dead on shooting, and a lot more spin and control compared to the standard 13 millimeter shaft. Overall, a great low deflection shaft. As you can see, we do have joint protectors. Says Gator on there. And joint protectors are always included with any purchase from Champion Q's. So that is good stuff. And speaking of joint protectors, of course, we have a joint protector here, and this is a funky looking joint, right? So this is a speed lock joint, and it's kind of like in the family of the turbo lock. It goes on like so, locks into place, and 1, 2, 3, and you have that speed lock. Nice flawless design, nice flush fit. It looks great. I am not very familiar with this one joint, unless there is a company called Fury that they use this joint, very popular with Fury cues. And overall, it is a good joint, but if you ever wanted to upgrade to a different shaft, the only company that I am familiar with that has a shaft for this joint besides Champion Q's, like if you wanted a carbon fiber shaft for this pool cue, you'd have to go with a company. I'm not going to say what it is, but it starts with an R. And if that doesn't tell you anything, then I don't know what to tell you. But all in all, it's a really good joint. No matter which shaft we're putting on here, it goes together very quick and very smooth and just sits flush and flawless. That is stunning. And speaking of really cool things, you get this wonderful case. So this is a standard black leather case, and when you're checking out, you actually get two options. You can choose between the standard black, or you can go with the textured, I believe it's gator skin. I have the black, and as you can see, there is lots of storage in there. Now we could fit a lot of stuff in here. That is dope. We have a center handle right here, and we have an additional pocket right here to pack whatever you need in there. And on the flip side, we have an easy adjustable strap that you just slide your fingers through here and you can adjust with ease. Throw it over your shoulder and you are good to go. And we have one zipper right here. This is a 2x2 case. As you can see, it has room for 2 butts and 2 shafts. Very well made, very protective. And for the price point, I gotta say, I mean, like, that is pretty freaking awesome. I like it. Very well made, very nicely done. And let's talk about extensions. Let's do that. As you can see, this does not come extension ready on this pull cue, and if you unscrew it like so, this is going to give you access to add weight or change weight, whatever you want to do. As you can see right down there, you will have access to the weight bolt that is in here, and it comes in, this pull cue comes in 18, 19, 20, and 21 ounces. And once again, it looks very, very nice. So with it not being extension ready, if you want it to be extension ready, then you can always add extensions to your purchase. And even if you just buy a single extension, then they will come extension adapter right here like so. And all you're going to do is replace that butt cap with this butt cap, and you're just going to screw that on there like so, and nice and tight. Here we have a little mini cute 2-inch extension that screws on there very, very nicely. Nice and flush. Look at that. But wait, I mean, like, these extensions are pretty freaking awesome. They are made out of carbon fiber, so they're really light, and they are stackable. So check this out. Here I have I believe this one's a 4-inch. Yeah, 3-inch or 4-inch extension. They go from 2 inches to 2.5 inches, all the way up to 8 inches. And you can buy them separately, or you can buy them as like a 2 and a 6 or a 2 and an 8. And you can stack them. Check that out. So you can continue to stack and stack whatever your preference may be, and that is going to give you that extra added reach that you need when it comes to those long, hard to reach shots. So that is really cool, and I will leave some information about that here real quick after this. And that's basically all I got for you guys when it comes to the up and close and the quick specs of this pull cue and the shafts and the case that comes with it. So how about we hit the pool table and try out this pull cue, see how it plays, and how these shafts perform. So let's get into that, and let's do that. We talked about the pool cue and the specs and everything like that. Now we have these two shafts. We have the standard 13 millimeter low deflection shaft, and we have the very low deflection 12 millimeter shaft. So we're gonna start with the 13 millimeter shaft, and we're gonna shoot some pool with this bad boy. As you saw that with the speed lock joints, it just 1, 2, 3, and you are solid and good to go. So we're gonna start with this one, and we're gonna talk about this shaft and how it plays in comparison to the 12 millimeter. So let's throw some balls here on the table with this bad boy, and let's do this. Let's talk about it. So with the Spider Series pool cue, we have the 13 millimeter diameter shaft on here, and we're going to start with this one. And we're going to talk a little bit about this pool cue, and we're going to start with the 13. First, right off the bat, I mean, like, it is very, very well balanced, very, very nicely done. Check that out. That is stunning. And it feels super, super grippy, especially with this like snake scale leather grip. No matter where you're gripping, even if you're going all the way to the butt, it feels great. So with a 13 millimeter shaft, it's a fatter shaft. It's going to give you, it's going to make potting the ball a whole lot easier. But if you wanted to put like spin or some kind of action on it, you're not going to get as much action with the 13 millimeter shaft as you would with a smaller diameter shaft like the 12. Like here, I'm going to cut the 3. I guess you could say I kind of make that look easy, but it's not really that easy. But all in all, I mean, like for a low deflection shaft, it has very minimal flex. It is nice and stiff, and it definitely has that low deflection playability. And say even if you're all the way back here and you can't reach that shot, that's when you reach into your back pocket for your extensions. And depending on the length of your table will depend on the length of your extension. And just like that, we're just gonna screw that in there like so. And we can even make it longer by adding this extension because they are stackable. And now I have that added reach, which now gives me the ability to pot this ball with ease. And another thing with a 13 millimeter shaft that, as you saw, I was trying to get the 5. After I made the 4, I was trying to get the cue ball more over in this area, but I couldn't really get the speed. For like example, I'm gonna pop this 5 and try to bring it this way to make for the 6. You have to kind of punch it with a fatter shaft, but you're about, I would say, 85% more guaranteed to pot balls with a thicker shaft than you are with a smaller shaft. Will it go? Will it go? Will it go? Will it go? Oh, and it goes, but the 8. Dang. So let's see what kind of low deflection this 13 millimeter shaft has in comparison to the 12. So here we have the 9 sitting right about there. We got the 8 right here. 2 for 1 shot. And we're gonna put it top. You see how it like didn't quite make the. Come on, come on. I'm just out of practice. There we go, there we go. So yeah, the pool cue itself plays great. Let's try it with a 12 millimeter shaft, and let's see how that differs in playability. All right, so we did the 13 millimeter shaft, and now we are switching to a smaller diameter 12 millimeter shaft with this low deflection shaft right here. And once again, with ease, it just pops in there, 1, 2, 3, and you are solid and good to go. I kind of put the table similar to what it was when we did the 13. So let's talk about how the 12 compares to the 13. Let's do that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to chalk up our tip, because you definitely don't want your tip to be naked. We got the Tiger Everest tip that comes standard on this pool cue. So we got it chalked up nicely. And let's see what kind of action we get with a smaller diameter shaft. Start with a backspin shot. Oh, wow. That's like immediately a huge difference for me personally, especially like, let's put top on here with this two ball. That was more of a spin shot, but it kind of puts us in the same situation that we were here earlier. I'm going to cut this three ball. Oh, and it didn't go. That's my bad. That's my bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, you know, like once again, say you got the ball right here, and we had the five ball right here, we had the six ball right here, something about right there, around something similar to that. And we're gonna bust out our extension here because we can't really reach the shot unless we want to like lean right over the table, which we still can't reach the shot. And that is when the extension is very, very useful. Screws on just like that. Flawless. I got the double stack here. And now we can reach that. We'll put a little action on this cue ball. Woo, look at that. That is stunning. And now let's see what kind of reaction we get with the 12 millimeter in the same kind of shot. Take our extension off, put it back in our back pocket. I got another gift. And oh, wow. Okay, that punches quite more. With the 12 millimeter shaft, it is a much smaller diameter. And with the shaft being low deflection as well, the 12 is actually a lot more stiff than the 13 and has less flex. But you're going to get so much more action with this thing. Look at that. Perfect position. Perfect position for the 7. Oh, and once again, we don't make the 7. It's all good. It's all good. I am no professional. So we're doing the same thing here. We're going to put the 7 ball right here. And we got the 8 right here. Put the cue ball about right here. And we're going to do the 2-in-1 shot like we did with the 13 millimeter. But we're going to do it with the 12 millimeter. The 12 millimeter is definitely going to give us a lot more action and a lot more spin for this 2-in-1 shot. And I'm using top right, extreme top right to be exact. Oh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And just like that, we pop the 9, and that's game. So the pull cue itself, it feels amazing to hold. It is very, very non-slip grip. And the shafts, whether you're playing with the 13 millimeter shaft or the 12 millimeter shaft that comes with it, it is a great pull cue. I mean, like, no joke. I genuinely would recommend this pull cue. It's a great beginner pull cue, most definitely, especially for the price point. And it looks awesome. I really like this green. Like I said, not a big fan of spiders, but it's still kind of cool. So let's get into our final thoughts. All right, boys and girls, in conclusion, my final thoughts when it comes to this Green Spider series pull cue. I mean, like, wow, I absolutely love this extended grip right here and the look and the feel of it and the 2 shafts that come with it. The case is great. And like I said, for just under $200, I mean, like, this is a steal of a deal. And coming from Champion Cues, you know it is a great product and very, very well made. As we talked about the everything, as we played pool and the specs and everything. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this pull cue? Absolutely. I would absolutely recommend this pull cue, especially for the price point. So guys, thanks for watching today's review. And until next time, guys, remember, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, peace.